Thanks for staying with us. So as Lagos State begins strict enforcement on the ban of operations of cart pushers and wheelbarrow operators in the state. Speaking with the newsman, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Lagos Waste Management Authority, Ibrahim Odumboni, says the activities are harmful to the environmental cleanliness in the state. So joining us is the boss himself of LAWMA, Ibrahim Odumboni, to tell us exactly what's going on. I'll leave the floor to Nima to start with. Because I know Nima is the one that has a problem with these LAWMA guys. So go ahead, Nima.
LAWMA.
Okay, so I heard them say strict enforcement, and I'm wondering, what's the capacity of LAWMA first to carry the waste? You know, if LAWMA can leave an area that I've lived in for 8 years and do not carry the waste, and these cart pushers are bailing us out, why do you want to strictly enforce the ban? Why do you want to even ban first, talk less of enforcing? How do you plan to enforce in an area your people don't come in?
So thank you very much, Nima. I think one of the key things that we all need to recognize is when it comes to environment, is something that is recurrent, and for every action we take, sustainability is key. If we leave the cart pushers the way they are, take for example the axis that you're talking about. You know how many, there's quite a lot of illegal dump sites there. There's quite a lot of places where they are using, the cart pushers are using waste to sandfill lands there. The repercussion on all the people that live in that area is enormous. It's more than the solving of the temporary problem. The water table will be affected. So if you are drilling borehole in there, your intake is going to be affected as well. And one of the key reasons why areas where cart pushers thrive is where people don't do the right thing. I'll be very honest with you. I know you can say, LAWMA have not been to those areas. We've sent over 4 PSPs to that access in the last 12 months. They all come in there. Maybe only 3 houses will pay. Nobody else will pay. LAWMA will go there and do intervention ourselves. But people need to change their attitude. You look at it, the cost of diesel now is $8.50. Someone that comes to your area and spend 18,000 to even move in, and it comes out with 0 kobo. How is it going to come back again? Okay, and that's why the government continues to subsidize and subsidize and subsidize. But that does not mean we should leave you alone. If you look at the cart pushers, apart from the effect they have on the environment, they have a serious security issue. A lot of them, you don't know who they are, where they are, what they are doing. They might come and catch your waste away when you are around. When you are not around, they come and catch your properties away. Then in the evening when you are sleeping, they will come and rob you. A lot of them have machetes under their carts. We've caught them times without number. Oh. And we prosecute them every time. So over the last 8 weeks, we've destroyed over 1,100 carts. We've prosecuted over 300 of them with fine and jail sentence. Because we go on, I've caught about 2 myself. There was a time I was working on, what's this road? On VI, Karimu Kotu. And I saw a cart pusher there. He's removing all the manhole covers. He kept it on his truck and then put waste on top of it. When he was caught, he started to negotiate how much he's going to give me if I leave him. Imagine. I have to take him to court. He's in the Badagry prison now serving his sentence. But the reality there is, everybody will say there's flooding in VI and Co. He's removed the manholes there. He's removed everything that could protect you there. So we all need to find a way to mitigate against this. I know that there could be capacity issues some ways or the other. But like over the last 2 weeks, we had the rain. The rain came, it affects a lot of places, but we all understand that after a few days or few hours, the water went. Why? Because the drainage, the main drainage where they are going to are cleared. But if these people continue to block the drainage, it will not go. It won't go anywhere. And that affected us on our dump site, where we have a lot of our trucks. We're dumping about 700, 800 a day. When it rains, we've only done 200. We've only dumped 200. Yeah. Good. They made it difficult for us.
So, sir, I understand that given what you just explained, I see why they have to be regulated.
Yes.
Because there's some waste that LAWMA will not carry. I know this personally. If you have construction waste, if you've done like your garden and you have like lots of branches and stems, they will not take it. It's the cart pushers that will eventually take it. So if you take them away, what am I supposed to do? What would somebody like me do? Would I put in my car and then drive where? So I feel that there should be a regulation. They may have like a better way of maybe they are registered, or have LAWMA improve on this capacity so that they can pick other types of waste.
Okay, so in response to that, we have our construction waste team is over 2 years old now, and they are everywhere in Lagos. So if you have a construction or you're building a site, we have a collaboration with physical planning and with works as well. So anytime there's a building site, even when Julius Berger was trying to constructing the bridge across Odorelaro, we are the ones they called. So man carry the construction waste away. They use it. Construction waste is everywhere. Garden waste, we do it. We have that in LAWMA. It's the same LAWMA helpline that you call or tell your PSP. I'll give you an example. A gentleman, there's a road in Ajini that's recently consulted by the governor. Yesterday, the guy was caught. He picked an old wardrobe, and dropped it in the middle of the road. And he was caught, and he was sentenced yesterday. Why would you do that? Because the reality is, if he informs the nearest PSP there, what they will do is they will call the LAWMA construction team. They'll come and take it. Somebody will even use the wood to make something else. But why would you take a whole wardrobe and go and dump in the middle of the road? We can't continue to encourage that. So, and I know the state is doing a lot to be.
So for someone like her, what would she do? What should she have done?
What you have done is to speak to your PSP that picks your general waste. I'm doing renovation.
You trained your PSP to know? They don't even know. But they don't talk. They don't
because it's manual.
After PSP truck drivers. So if you come to an area to pick up waste and the person gives you a waste you cannot pick, you simply say, let me give you a number to call. We are not designated to pick this. Not that we cannot take it, we cannot take it. And you drive off.
You continue to educate them to ensure that that doesn't happen again.
Okay, but
and also share across, share with everyone what our contact details are for construction waste. But it's the same thing as our general waste.
She mentioned,
let me be sure I'm clear. So, because she's a gardener, she has a lot of branches. So she's saying that when she has this kind of a lot of these trees and all that, she should call the PSP, her PSP, or she call LAWMA.
You can call LAWMA directly, or inform your PSP who will tell LAWMA that you need something cutted away.
Okay.
But even your garden waste are all recyclable.
I know, but there are some that I have to just take out. There's a big tree I had to cut down because it was going to affect the building itself. And they refuse to take it. And that's not the first time. And then construction waste, if you do some construction, they will tell you they don't pick that. But now that you have said to me, we'll try that method and we'll get back to you.
Even regarding what you can call last pack, they will always contact us as well. If it's something that works together.
Yeah, I like the idea of last pack. I believe those might have capacity to handle the situation. But I know that we tend to want to implement without having an alternative, you know, like the clear alternative. Like what in Nima's area where there isn't PSP function, though you explained that is because the residents are not paying enough to warrant the business coming there. But when you say these truck pushers shouldn't come and there is no PSP to fill the gap, what happens to the waste within that period?
So in response to that, the reality there is law of economics. When there's a substitute, you use the substitute. If the cat pushers are not there, the residents will comply. Very simple. The residents will comply. But you continue to...
pushers don't come. The PSPs don't come.
The PSPs will come if you are not patronizing the cat pushers. No. The reality there is some of the estate gates, they will not even let PSP come in.
Oh,
no, let me explain something. Sorry, Nima. You know Unity Estate? I'll give you an example. There are times when the estate gate will say, don't come in. Because the PSPs have tried to enforce there before. In as much as we have like 4 or 5 houses that pay, the other houses don't want to pay.
Unique Estate pays. And I have sat with your people, your team,
several times
at the meeting several times. And they promised, the last assessment they did, they went around the entire community. We did an awareness. I took my time on a Saturday morning and did an awareness with them around the community. We pointed out medical waste, all different kinds of waste. They promised the Monday after, I didn't see them. And I'm telling you for a fact on national TV, I have not seen them since then. And the weeks that followed, I remember leaving my own waste and saying, no, they'll come. Don't give the cat pushers. After 2-3 weeks, I had to do something about it. I won't leave my waste standing there. They don't come.
So
let's talk about if they don't come?
That's
what alternatives do you have?
So if your PSP don't come, so LAWMA has set up a special intervention team. Now, the PSPs normally will contact us to say, I have capacity problem this week. Can you help me? Then we'll deploy our LAWMA trucks to go and work in that area to cover until that capacity problem is rectified. Let's say their truck breaks down or something happens. So in situations like that, when PSP don't call, you can also contact the LAWMA team through our call center or even email or send letters to us. We'll come to that community, we'll intervene, and if there's need for us to change the PSP, we'll change. But you need to inform us.
Let me take
also, we have monitors around now doing that.
Oh, Labi from Egbeda. Good morning. Are you there?
Hello, good morning, Mariah.
You're live. Go ahead, please, sir.
Yeah, I like how you always bring all these head of service to national TV, and they speak as if they are speaking the reality. I can say for sure, me, I don't even subscribe to PS anymore. When they don't come through months, this and that, but when they want to bring their views, they will come. And sometimes they eventually abandon their service, leave them in front of your house. Go out to go and complain.
That's a truck.
Then the one that happened, I went to the local government to complain. I discovered that, okay, even the secretary at that local government is even the one that owns the truck. They'll find something to do. They turn in front of the house to dump inside. So, they are not speaking to reality.
Which area is this, sir? Which area?
Egbeda Olaolu, yes.
Olaolu. Yes.
Olaolu.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. He has gotten the feedback. He has gotten that feedback. Yes. Okay.
So I was going to ask about the Olusosun dump site.
Yes.
You know, there was a time that a lot of work was done, and there seemed to be like a reduction. My children's school is close to that area, so a few times you might just go around there, and it's either like this huge stench, or there's this cloud of smoke. There's a mechanic village that seemed to have been overrun completely with the waste being pushed there. What exactly is Lagos State's plan for the Olusosun dump site? Because it's so close to development.
Thank you. I think for the Olusosun dump site, currently we are going through extensive rehabilitation of the dump site. Dump sites are rehabilitated on a quarterly basis, but there's a deep rehabilitation that goes on every 2 years. So as we speak now, if you go there, you see a lot of machinery, caterpillars, excavators in there. So in reality is, when we're doing this rehabilitation, we make sure that we fix up the roads that leads there. We also cap some areas that had waste already. We put lateral there to stop all the stench, all the smokes, and all the smells going out, and all the hazardous fumes there. Then one other thing we do is we do a lot of we disinfect the whole area completely. So that's an ongoing process. But also, we fumigate our dump sites on a monthly basis. The long-term solution for Olusosun, and we continue to say that repeatedly, is for us to change that facility to a waste-to-energy or waste-to-wealth facility. And there are two options that we have, which are almost concluded. It's not as easy as getting an investor to just come in and do. We have to make sure that every other thing is ticked. Make sure the energy side is done, the environment side is done, everything is done to ensure that the funding is available, the proponent is serious. We continue to receive proposals every other month, and we look at the ones that is suitable for Lagos. That place is a center of waste for the whole of West Africa. It's a lot of places where researches are done. So for us, there are two options. Option one, bring something that is an incinerator that will burn existing and new waste. We cannot just bring something that will just do new waste. Then that old heap will still be there. We want something that will burn the one that is still there and make it go. That's option one. Option two is to do what they call composting. Bring something there that will make sure that all the waste you see in there, we remove all the organic side. What you have on the Olusosun is 60% organic. All those organic can be used to plant and make food and production.
That's money.
So we are looking at the different options that can go in there to resolve that permanently.
Mr. Solomon from K2, good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. The LAWMA boss today, I want to advise that they should not complicate the issue of refuse disposal in Lagos. Because the K2 area here, initially we were using them, but suddenly they will not come and carry the refuse, and at the same time, they will still bring bills for us to pay. And they eventually turn themselves to NEPA, that they will not give life, and they will still want to collect money. And with time now, they will just come, they will not come, and they will force us to pay. But with time, when the issue of the other the space, I think this last space or so took over, that was when we were relieved from them. So they should not just compound the problems that we are facing in Nigeria now with this issue of banning all these refuse that we are using, because they will not even come. And I think that you will see everywhere smelling all over the place,
right,
and they will not have the way to dispose our refuse.
Okay.
Just please.
Thank you so much. Want to respond to that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Solomon. So one of the things that the AWAM Association, which is the Waste Management Association of Nigeria, which our PSPs are doing now. Last week, they've gone to Ghana to see what they do there. So all the car pushers there are regulated, and we've offered that opportunity to our car pushers here. What they want to do now is to bring motorized vehicles that can go to some of the areas that are not easily accessible, and at the same time be able to mop up for them in cases like this. So I think what we need to do as a whole, as residents of Lagos, is I'm quite confident that this will be resolved sooner than later. We just need to give them the time to capitalize, to recapitalize, and bring other assets that can complement what they are using now. We can understand that at this point in time, our compactor using system have provided a very healthy, good living environment for us. But we need to continue to improvise, because Lagos is getting more populated. Lagos, the volume of waste we are generating is increasing daily. So we need to ensure that we look at the way to improvise on that. I'm having a meeting with them later today. This afternoon is one of our monthly meetings. And one of the things we are clarifying and we are making sure we are formalizing today is to ensure that they capitalize to find a better way to integrate the informal sector. But what they keep asking us as well is, you can only integrate somebody and formalize someone that wants to be formal. So we need to ensure that we do a lot of advocacy, say like IBA, Orile, all those areas, all those axes. We believe that the informal sector can help in that axis, but they need to know what to do.
Let me take this call from Nuru, because I'm really concerned about the local government's involvement in this. Nuruddin, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm there. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm Nuruddin calling from Shasha. This is the second time, and this is the second time I'm calling from this show, because this is the second time this man will come to the show. That is the boss. Sorry to say. From Shasha, we are having issues with them too. So we complained about to the PSP. They told us the dump site is full and stuff like that. So the man promised to come. So they came. The last time they came to our area was Itunawe. She understood after Itunawe. That was the last time they came. So we went over to complain. We had a lot of beds along Shasha Way. So we went to the office. They told us that packing some beds from the local Jews, stuff like that, that the place is full. And so we are like, we want to know what's going on. So we went to the head there at Mosalashi. We complained to him, and he told us we'll be coming on Friday. Till today, we've not seen any of them. And they are preparing some bills, and we don't know. We need to pay, though, but they don't have any substantial things to tell us that this is what they are doing to rectify the problem. And they are having old people around, sure, the public kind of thing. That thing can cause diseases, and we don't know where to dispose, because we don't use all these abokies they are using. We don't use them. So we want to know what is going on precisely and what they are doing to rectify what is on ground.
Thank you. That's in Shasha.
I think for Shasha, we are currently doing special intervention on Shasha main road all around the axis, including the neighboring locations around the naval, the Air Force base there in Shasha. I will continue to do that. And the reason why we're doing that is, since the rain and the issues that we have at the dump site, we are rehabilitating the dump site now. All the 5 dump sites in Lagos are rehabilitated at the same time. The Gondo one, the Ekpe, the Badagry one, the one in Kurudu. Because the reason
suggest that one at Gondo is completely closed down.
That's the plan for it.
I wish it was done yesterday. Because you see, right now it's just behind the general hospital, poses a risk to patients within the hospital in Gondo. Then, when it rains, what he does is that he washes into that road. The traffic is endless. We now have to drive cars filled with the water through it to get to Igondo. My parents live there. you know, it's no longer a safe, even environmental-wise safe place to operate a dump site. I think it should be closed down already.
So what we are doing as part of the rehabilitation is to ensure that there's free flow of water and there's free flow of traffic in that area. If you notice, Public Works with us, we've done paving stones on the whole road that goes across the dump site. The drainages are all being done as well. So what we want to ensure that the secondary drain that all the drain that they discharge into is free flowing for everyone. That area, that dump site will be closed. Yeah. Our intention is to get it closed sometime next year or the year after.
All right, let me take this.
But we also remember that dump site.
Where else would they move it to?
The first time the dump site was there was no house. There was no house within the first 3-mile radius there. People came to that dump site.
Let me take this call.
There when it was dug.
From Richard from Port Harcourt. Good morning, Richard. Are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mariah. Good morning, ladies.
Yes.
And to your guests. Okay, I have a question and I have a solution to propose. My question is to your guests. What do you do with all the waste gathered at the different dump sites across the state? What do you do with them? Do you have any plans or any scheme on waste recycling? That is one. Then my solution that I want to propose is, you've touched on it briefly, so I know there's that idea of wanting to just copy and paste, but it is also important to develop an homegrown solution to our challenges. Rather than remove these guys, the cat pushers, it will be important to regulate them. You are government, even if they don't want to, you bring them in line. And anybody that does not want to fall in line, well, you deal with them appropriately. Now, the Enugu solution, right? You can have large receptacles at different areas, at different points. So rather than your PSP going into street by street, spending more money on diesel, you can just have a central location for different areas where waste can be deposited, and these people will just go to that particular receptacle and pick from there. The cat pushers that you are going to be regulating, they should be registered. You get their data. That is real, so they don't dispose waste indiscriminately.
All right, Richard. Thank you. I like you too. There's a lot of calls.
Yeah, let me respond to that. Please. Mr. Richard from Port Harcourt, thanks for your call. I don't know if you are conversant with Lagos streets very well. We do have receptacles we call double dyno bins. There are about 250 of them in different locations in Lagos. And those double dyno bins are bigger than all our compactors that you see. Their capacity is bigger than compactors. When a carpenter picks waste, they know where the double dyno bins are. The quickest way for them is, let me dump where I can just quickly go back and pick more, because it's all about the money factor for them. They will not go to where the bins are. They'll pick from house 1 and drop in house 2. So
how would you ensure they do that?
Yeah, if you don't regulate? So the only way you can ensure to do that is to regulate. So let me give you an example. Our recyclers all across the states, this time a year and a half ago, they were not regulated. Now they are regulated. They are doing things properly. You just not see somebody gathering plastic in random places like before. We open for them to come to us. We register them. We take their biometric details. We do that. We've done the same thing for these car pushers, but they are refusing to come. And I'll tell you, majority of the car pushers, when they caught them and they take them to court, they are not Nigerians. They don't even know how
the same issue with Okada.
You're not wrong about that. So I can't sit here and tell you on the issue of cat pusher and security that you're not right. But the truth is, stop leaving us helpless. We know we shouldn't patronize them. We don't have options.
So we need options. That's what
so that's why I said, give us more time with the PSP to recapitalize and invest in other mode of collection that they've discovered themselves. Our PSPs have kept Lagos for over 30 years. You've trusted them to do that. So give them time, short time. Under the supervision of LAWMA and the Ministry of Environment, they will come up with a solution. They found a solution. We are checking it among us and between ourselves to make sure it's the right solution that will not take us back again. Once that solution is approved for them, we roll it out. And then we do this. We call on all these cartridges as well. We regulate them.
Can we have an idea of what these solutions are? Or is it still
so like I said, the solution is bringing in all those motorized what do you call it? Bikes that can also tip.
Yes.
They have a tipping ability.
Oh, yeah.
They can take 1.5 ton of waste. They will go into the communities.
The recyclers
People that
use
want
them
to pay as you go will pay them.
I'm even more concerned of the non-Nigerians. So we're trying to ban Okada, some of which quite a few of them are foreigners. We're now hearing that car pushers too are foreigners. I mean, I know this is not your area, but what does government have to do? How do they plan to engage Lagosians, people who reside in Lagos, to take on these jobs and not these foreigners? Because do we have plans to... I don't know what do you want to do with this foreigners?
There are several plans. So, for example, we work with LSCTF, the Legal Employment Trust Fund, and we also work with all other CDA, CDC, and local government chairmen, especially when they have people that are readily available to work. So, if you look at our sweeping program, we have over 17,000 sweepers that are majorly Lagosians.
Yes.
People from Lagos that want to work, that want to dedicate themselves to the environment. Right. So, the same thing to all, even recycling. We have 7,500 people working in recycling, and it's very diverse. But we need to understand that Lagos is a metropolitan city, and the diversity is continuing to grow. But most importantly, we are ready to accommodate everyone.
Even from Togo, from GOTV, from...
No, Nigerians.
No. He just said they couldn't understand. They went to court, they couldn't understand.
Lagos, we are ready to accommodate.
Can I just suggest something? Because you talked about...
I have this call. I'll come to you, Mary. John has been holding from Nottingham. Good morning, John. Are you there? You're live.
Good morning.
Yes. Morning. Go ahead, John. Listen to me. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay, so what I would like to contribute is the issue of you scrapping the cart pushers. I don't now because we are not really there. You will see a case where you want to throw your refuse away. You are the one chasing LAWMA. There are some places that LAWMA cannot get to. In Lagos, I can bet you that they can't get to that place. LAWMA cannot get to this place. And it's only those cart pushers that can get there. The lady sitting beside you, Murayo, mentioned something like if she has a wood or something to dispose. When I was in Lagos, there are days when there are some refuse that are not really like domestic refuse that you want to dispose. You find out that LAWMA will not pack those refuse. Those PSC guys, they can never pack those refuse. They will tell you they can't carry it. And the only people that can help you dispose those things are those cart pushers.
Right. I think you addressed that.
So it's not the right time.
All right, thank you. Go ahead,
ma'am. Yeah, so I was going to go there next, saying that this new idea of getting motorized cart pushers would cost the government a lot of money. Can we look at cheaper ways of how to use what we already have to do that? But also, I just want to find out, this is a bit outside Ministry of Environment. You talked about finding some of these defaulters or criminal, those that just dump refuse right in the middle of the road, the cart pushers, and you talked about putting them in jail. Why don't we look at community service? Why are we just overcrowding our jail with people who are just putting waste in the middle of the road?
So thank you very much. I think I'll give you some statistics. Last year, over 1,500 people were put before special offences court and magistrate court for waste. Only 83 of them went to prison for it. But in reality, a lot of them joined us in the sweeping program.
Okay.
We gave them pole to sweep after they give them community service so that they can have a life of a sweeper and see how it is, and they contributed as well. So it's something that community service mainly is the first point that the judge or the magistrate always gives them.
No, we never hear
the only last option is when somebody, so I'll give you an example, when people are recalcitrant, and somebody is saying that I throw a bottle out because I have the right to throw it out, nothing can happen, nothing should happen to me. That's when you are actually flaunting the law or you are a repeated offender. That's when you get the last sentence, or what you have done is grievous. For example, a gentleman load a heap of waste in a Sienna, parked on Freedom Way at around 1 p.m. yesterday.
Wow.
And offloaded everything on the Freedom Way in Lekki.
How embarrassing.
At 1 p.m. When the sweepers have finished sweeping, when they've cleared everywhere, he was caught and was made to sit in the middle of the waste, and now he's in court this morning. And we are seeking maximum sentence for him. Because people who, it's the time that we cannot afford to play politics or anything with waste. This is not the right time to be playing that kind of pranks.
They have to wrap up.
So you can't afford to bring somebody in, you come in and embarrass the government just because you want to, for the fun of what? It's not possible. We don't want that. But most importantly on cart pushers, and I want to respond to this. Until we all containerize our waste, in England, in anywhere in the world, they have days that they come and pick your waste. They don't come every day.
We know that.
The idea that we want to see PSP every day, we should remove it. It's not possible. It's not economically possible. Yeah. So if you go to England, they might come and pick your waste on Wednesday, recyclables on Tuesday. So the reality for you is when you have a bin, even if the PSPs are not there at that moment, that waste can waste for a week. The operating cost for PSP is now 150% higher. So we are expecting a review of price.
Again?
For them to survive. Yes, we have to.
We got to run. Unfortunately, that's so we can take it out.
2009. That needs to happen pretty soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just review this year in our area.
We've come twice, or no, 3 times already. I hope we'll bring you back again because we need to be sure that what you're saying is...
They bring back the
adds up. Okay. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.